Well, hello everyone, I'm Jackson Haney from Insane Internet Wrestling, and welcome to Wrestling Done Right, where I take wrestling storylines that I feel didn't live up to expectations and try to make them better, all for the sake of good storytelling. So, this one is fun. I had a lot of fun coming up with this one. This time around, I'm looking at WrestleMania 40. This video is part 1. Yep, I'm doing a two-parter for a fantasy booking video for the first time ever. And seeing as WrestleMania is 2 nights and has been for the past 4 years, makes sense. So yeah, this is going to be part 1. Part 2 will be uploaded shortly afterwards. Maybe not directly, but sooner rather than later. Before WrestleMania, I'll put it that way. Now, full disclosure, I'm filming both of these videos on Wednesday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, my gift to you all. So yes, I'm filming this before Elimination Chamber. Elimination Chamber has not happened yet. The WrestleMania press conference has happened, but we are shooting this before the episode of SmackDown, so we're just a few days removed, like a week removed. But yeah, after WrestleMania press conference, before Elimination Chamber, this is when this video is being recorded. Keep that in mind. Now, do I think all of these are going to happen? No, not really, because the build to WrestleMania 40 has been weird. And they've really only built one match. They had a Super Bowl commercial for one match, maybe, because it's weird, because Seth Rollins was in it, and I don't think he's going to be involved that much. It's weird. But if you're watching this after WrestleMania 40, and the show was crap, but you like this better, you could treat this as how they should have done it. Or, you know, don't. Makes no difference to me, because I've got 2 nights of WrestleMania to do, and I'm going to do it regardless of what you think, even though I'm doing this for you. So, without further ado, let's get this underway. WrestleMania 40, Night 1. Let me see what I can do. Now, before I get into the first match, I just want to say thank God there's really no matches on the pre-show anymore. I mean, the pre-show is an hour, so you could fit a match on there if you wanted to, but WWE hasn't really done that in a while. And I don't think they're going to anytime soon. So, thank God, no matches on the pre-show. So, we start WrestleMania 40 with an undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match, with champions The Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor, defending against the Awesome Truth, The Miz and R-Truth for the uninitiated. Now, I'm one of many people who finds the Judgment Day R-Truth angle absolutely hilarious. And honestly, how could it not be? R-Truth's been in the game for so long, he, for the most part, knows how to hit the right spots when it comes to comedy. For the most part. And with the stuff that happened in the Royal Rumble, and the stuff that's happening on Raw right now, to me, this is the match that makes the most sense. And it could finally be Truth realizing that he's not in the Judgment Day, so he's going off to be something better. And he does that by teaming with The Miz to defeat Damian Priest and Finn Balor and win the tag team titles. Now, yes, this isn't very good for Priest and Balor, especially Priest, considering he's Mr. Money in the Bank and he loses because he's Mr. Money in the Bank. That comes in the job description. But I've got something planned long term. But I will say this, across these 2 videos, you will sense a theme, and that theme is the disillusion of factions. Not necessarily in terms of them falling apart, just their success taking a bit of a dip. Because factions have run WWE these past few years. Bloodline, Damage Control, Judgment Day. These stables have done wonders for themselves recently, but WrestleMania 40 is going to be rough. I'll say that much. So yeah, you open up with a good babyface win, have R-Truth and The Miz finally topple the Judgment Day, and have R-Truth realize, again, he's not in the Judgment Day, he's gonna be something better. So, R-Truth and The Miz open up WrestleMania with a feel-good win. Next up, a huge singles matchup. First participant, Bianca Belair. Belair, for the first time in her WrestleMania career, will not be involved in the title picture. I mean, it's a big shift because 3 years in a row, she has won a women's championship match at WrestleMania. She beat Sasha, she beat Becky, and then she beat Asuka. That is one heck of a resume, but this year's got to be something different. And I think I can provide something different. Because for WrestleMania, this is my pitch. Bianca Belair going one-on-one with Jade Cargill. Because let's face it, when it comes to the women's division, Cargill is going to be the next big thing. At least that's how WWE is portraying her. They've billed her as this almighty superstar, this huge signing, which in reality she kind of was. Coming from AEW, where her name was built up to an astronomical degree, her coming into WWE did wonders, because now people have her eyes on her and they're going to see what she can do. And to me, there's no better way to do that than by putting her in a big match against another superstar on the biggest stage. Give her Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. You saw the stare down in the Rumble. You know these two women will put together an absolute clinic. And in terms of the outcome, you have to go with Cargill. Because WWE, again, has been building her up since Fastlane. They have portrayed her as the next big thing in wrestling, in women's wrestling. So if you want to have her be the star you've portrayed her as, then you have her win at WrestleMania, and then if you want to, you can Brock Lesnar her to the title. I mean, Brock's not here anymore, so it feels weird to say that, but still, push her to the moon. Now we have a United States Championship match with champion Logan Paul defending against LA Knight. Yeah! LA Knight, as I'm sure all of you are aware, is great and deserves a championship run at some point. And while he has been in the world title picture recently, I don't think he's at that level yet. And, I mean, the dude's in his early 40s, so he's not going to be here that much longer, at least I think so. But maybe in like 6 months or something, you could have him have a medium world title reign. And I'm not talking a week, but I'm also not talking a year. 2 or 3 months is decent, but I'm rambling. My point is this: if you want to have LA Knight be in the world title picture, you have to build him up first. And WWE, for the most part, did that. The SummerSlam Battle Royal was instrumental in making LA Knight the star he is today. And now, Knight deserves some championship gold. And while it's not going to be a world title, it's still a title worth having, at least to me. We're giving him the US title. Yep, he's going to defeat Logan Paul in the Battle of Megastars. And you really don't need much story for this one. It's Megastar versus Megastar. And they've had interactions before, so, you know, it could work. But bottom line, you want to prove that it's LA Knight's game? Give him some gold and watch him run. He will do wonders with that title. I can see it. Next up, a tag team match. This one is a little bit sentimental to me in terms of what happens after, but stick with me. The match is Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci Imperium versus Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, The New Day. There are no titles on the line, nothing like that. It's just two teams settling the score in the ring. What more do you want? Now, despite the turbulence that's happened, I still think Imperium is a faction that is on the rise. They have not been in WWE that long in the grand scheme of things. At least not as long compared to the New Day, who's been here for just shy of 10 years. And they are former NXT Tag Team Champions, granted, but they're going to need something else in order to legitimize themselves as a threat in the tag team division. So giving them a win over record-breaking tag team champions will do that. So that's what we're doing. Imperium gets the win, but they are not done. They know how good the New Day are, or at least they realized how good the New Day are. So they're going to make sure they don't have to bother with the New Day again. So they try to brutalize them after the match, but Big E runs out and makes the save. Now, yeah, I know, unlikely, but this is called fantasy booking for a reason. And, I mean, he said he's feeling better. He says that all the time. So maybe if he's not ready for wrestling, he can at least be out there on TV again. He was on the WrestleMania press conference and he looked great. He really did. So having him come out and tease an in-ring return is enough, at least to me. So Big E saved Kofi and Xavier from a beatdown, and the New Day, in their original form, reunite on the grandest stage. It's just beautiful. Now this next part is something I cooked up, but I think you won't mind it. Just bear with me. If you'll think back to last year's show, you will remember the WrestleMania Showcase 8-person tag matches. They were fun. They really didn't have any story, but they were good for popping the crowd. So I'm doing that again here, a 40 years of WrestleMania Showcase. But this time, I'm going to make it mean something. Just because it's WrestleMania 40, it's got to have a little bit of grandiose to it, if you know what I'm saying. So what I'm doing here is a 6-pack elimination challenge, with the winner receiving a championship match for the next pay-per-view, or whenever. Not like Money in the Bank, but you get it. You get it. It's a number 1 contenders match, basically, and it's got 3 people from Raw and 3 people from SmackDown. Both nights will have matches like this. Night 1 is the women's match. Night 2 is the men's match. For night 1, the 3 women from Raw are going to be Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, and Shayna Baszler. And from SmackDown, you have Naomi, Natalya, and newcomer Tiffany Stratton. The winner receives a championship match for either the Women's Championship or the Women's World Championship, depending on the brand. And for me, the winner of this match is going to be Liv Morgan, because she's just returned from various things that I really don't want to get into. And yeah, Liv is great. Liv has been great for so long, and she's had championship success, absolutely, whether it be tag or singles, but it never really feels like she's hit that ceiling. She's never really had a feud like that. They have tried, absolutely, but it's never really felt that way. A win here and a feud with, I don't know, Rhea Ripley could change that. Spoilers for a later match, but that's really a given. So yeah, you don't really need much story. Just 6 women trying to prove they're the best on their show. They're the best at WrestleMania. And Liv comes out on top, getting her title match. Well done, Liv. Now this next match is, well, it's a little boring. You could consider this the toilet break match if you want to. I don't think it should be, but you can consider it that. We've got Karrion Kross going one-on-one with Bobby Lashley. If you're thinking of closing this video, that's fair. I understand. But stick around. Let me explain myself. See, I mentioned earlier that the theme of this WrestleMania is the dissolution of factions. Again, not in terms of them falling apart, but in terms of their success taking a dip. However, as with most themes, there is an outlier. Final Testament. As dumb a name as it is, I think it could be something. The potential is there. It is just unrealized. It is untapped. And if you want to tap into that potential, you give the leader something to work with. And they've been doing this on TV. They've got the Pride, I think is what they're called. It's Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits versus the Final Testament. And it could work if you treat it right. And I'm giving the win to Karrion Kross. Now, why not Bobby? Well, Bobby has been to the mountaintop a few times. He's a 2-time WWE champion, and he's won basically every singles title there is to win in WWE. Heck, he's even a former ECW champion, if you wish to count that. So Bobby's been there, done that. Kross hasn't, and that's not really his fault. See, he got stuck with a weird shredder look, and he's never really recovered from that. It's a shame, but that's just reality. And sure, he's a 2-time NXT champion, but what else has he done? Nothing, that's what. But a win here could change his whole trajectory. A win here could catapult the Final Testament to a better place. Maybe a little hold all the gold moment. Maybe give Kross a mid-card title, give AOP the tag titles. It could work. It's a long process, and admittedly I'm trying to turn chicken crap into chicken salad here, but if you do it right, you can make something happen. Next up, Io Sky versus Bayley, WWE Women's Championship. This is a match that I have wanted for a while now, and thank God they're doing it. This is really the only match in this video that is confirmed for WrestleMania, and thank God, because this is the right way to go. Speaking of the right way to go, Bayley should win. I feel like that's the obvious pick, but really it makes sense. Bayley has not had any real success since before Damage Control. She can make the case that Damage Control was holding her back. Because remember in 2020, which is not long after she turned heel, she and Sasha were running through the women's division. They both were double champions. But in addition to missing success, she's also missed something else. The support of the people. And this is just wishful thinking on my part. She can come out at WrestleMania as the hugger. I mean, yeah, it's what fans want, and it's probably not going to happen. She's probably going to stick with her current look. But, God, I would love to see it. She made herself famous with the hugger gimmick. People like the hugger gimmick. It was great in NXT. It was good when it first happened on the main roster. But, yeah, people like the hugger. So, bring it back, Triple H. Please bring back the hugger gimmick. And continuing the theme of dissolution of faction success, Io loses the women's title. And this plays into the match with the Kabuki Warriors. More on them next video. Now then, main event time. The final match of WrestleMania 40 is a triple threat for the World Heavyweight Championship, with Seth Rollins defending against both Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn. I know, weird, but hear me out. I don't think Gunther should challenge Seth yet, because he has that Intercontinental title already. He has a title that he has made prestigious, and it arguably means more than the World Heavyweight title does now. But name carries weight more than a lot of other things do. So that's why the world title match is in the main event and the IC title isn't. Now, why Drew and Sami? Well, first, I don't want to leave Sami Zayn off of WrestleMania. And considering he's been doing this thing with Drew for a little while now, I feel like they need to blow off their steam in some form. And you could make the case for him wanting championship success because he got screwed by Roman Reigns and he can't get to Roman Reigns, so he's going to go for the next best option, which can piss off Seth Rollins. And Drew is just bitter. He is bitter, he is a maniac, and it's great. He's glad Punk is not there so he can have his main event spot. And he's glad Cody is finishing his story so he can get that World Heavyweight Championship. Drew tells Seth, don't worry about Cody. Cody's doing his own thing. You should worry about me taking that from you. Just stirring it up a little bit. And I have an exact pitch for what I want the finish to be. McIntyre hits Zayn with a Glasgow kiss, but Zayn will not fall down. He is basically out on his feet. So McIntyre sets up a Claymore, but Rollins intercepts him, throws him out of the ring, and then rolls up Sami. 1, 2, 3. Seth retains the World Heavyweight title. McIntyre, in a rage, beats the crap out of Seth Rollins. Just power bombs him over and over and over. 1, 2, 3 Claymores, why not? So McIntyre is walking up the entrance ramp, but walking down the entrance ramp is Damian Priest. Cash in alert. Yep, Damian Priest cashes in Money in the Bank, hits the Reckoning, and becomes World Heavyweight Champion. He plays Seth's own trick on him. He becomes the second person to cash in at WrestleMania by doing it to the first person to cash in at WrestleMania. It just fits, man. It just fits. So we end WrestleMania Night 1 with Damian Priest standing in the middle of the ring holding the World Heavyweight Championship. And that is all for now. That's Night 1 in the books. We're done with that. We're going to move on to Night 2 in the next video. What did you think of Night 1? Was there anything that you'd change? Did you like it? Did you hate it? I really don't care, but let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe. And you can follow me on Twitter here. I'll see you in part 2. I've got to record that right now, and I'm going to try to make it quick because I'm getting tired. I'm Jackson Haney from Insane Internet Wrestling, and I will see you soon.